Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on the 300. So in one of the last videos, or it might have been the last video, I don't remember, but anyway, in one of the last videos, y'all remember we were having some issues with the 300. So I did some research. I think it's a map sensor, so went ahead and ordered one through Advanced Auto yesterday morning. They lost it in their computer system, or had some issues or whatever, I don't know. But I finally got an email today that it should be ready to pick up. So I'm gonna head down there right now. It is 6 o'clock almost. So I'm gonna try to get down there, pick it up, get back, throw it in the car, and see if that fixed our issue. Alright guys, so here at Advanced, I got my map sensor, so I guess we'll head back to Greenbrier and see if we can get this sensor in, and hopefully it fixes our issue. I'm hopeful, I really am. So I'm gonna head back and like I said, we're gonna throw this sensor in. I did some research on these, relatively easy to change, so we should have it in tonight and see what the car does. Alright guys, so we just made it back home, and now on this car, again, these should be super simple from the one YouTube video I watched, but what you want to do, pop your engine cover off. It just comes right off. Toss that out of the way, and your map sensor is right there. So there's a little post, I don't know, yeah, you can see that right there, that little post right there, so that is really all that holds that sensor in. So I can't show you all this because I need both hands, but I'm gonna go ahead and swap this sensor out, and I'll go in the house, grab the key, and we will see if that fixes our issue. Okay, so went to put the sensor in, and of course, with my luck, it didn't fit. Now, according to this thing, they have a new design. You got to cut it down, make it look like that. So I'm gonna run down here to the shop, grab something, and well, I guess we get to do some cutting on my intake to make the new style sensor fit. So anyway, I'm gonna run down here, grab something, we'll get that cut to these specs, and we will go ahead and slap the sensor in. Alright, so we got that trimmed, got the new sensor in. You can see it kind of right there, but I got my key. We're going to see what this thing does. If it starts good and idles good, I'm going to take it for a drive, put the engine cover back on, but I'll take it for a drive and see what it does. But cross your fingers, let's see what she does. Well, yeah, that's pretty normal. That's what it's been doing. Started back much easier. But I'm gonna let this thing sit here and idle, see what it does. I got the scanner that way if we need it, but I'm gonna let this thing sit here and idle, and we're gonna see what it does. Okay, so it run a little rough. I got 4 more lean codes for some reason, I don't understand. But I got it started and kind of idling, and revved it up a few times. It cleared up. So I'm gonna take it for a drive, see what it does. So far, I've moved it from right there to right here, and we didn't get another check engine light. And since we have the back seat up, you can hear the fuel moving around in there, which is pretty interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna take this thing for a drive, and we're gonna see what this thing does. Okay guys, so I just made it back, and it's, if anything, it's worse. My grandpa's gonna try to start it. I left the scanner Well, start. Well, maybe it'll run. But I left the scanner hooked up to it. The scanner shows short-term fuel trims right before it cuts out to be, 33%, and when it cuts out, it goes straight to 0. And watching the cat temps on just a short little run, cat temps got over 1,700 degrees. So I don't know. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna do some research and see what I can figure out. But the thing keeps throwing lean codes left and right. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go in here, do some research and see what I can figure out. Okay, so we pulled the car in the shop after doing some looking, and I figured we might look at the mass airflow sensor. It looks okay, and then we noticed the throttle body was pretty dirty. We tried turning the key on in the car and floor the pedal, see if it would open. It didn't open all the way. And if we look at the throttle blade here, you go ahead and flip that open. All the carbon on the throttle body. So I guess we're gonna try to clean that. I don't know if we pull this off if it'll mess the gasket up. But I guess if it does, I'll get another gasket. But I think we're gonna try to pull this off, take a look, and well, try to do some major cleaning. Okay guys, so my grandpa here got the throttle body off, and we noticed it does have an O-ring, but for one, that's terrible. But two, if you look around, you can tell the O-ring wasn't really sealing. And down here, well, there's carbon built up underneath of the throttle body. So if we look in the intake, nice and dirty, but not near as dirty as that throttle blade is. So like I said, we're going to try to do some cleaning on this and see if we can get that functioning, because it's kind of gritty as far as the actuation goes, and then it's filthy. So I think we'll do that, get a new O-ring for the intake here, and see what that does. But anyway, we're probably going to have to go get some more carburetor cleaner or throttle body cleaner, and get back to cleaning. Okay, so went to Conway, bought a couple cans of this stuff and some gum out. Well, they had that, but we come back and did some cleaning on this. We also ordered a new gasket. It'll be here, I think the guy said no later than 9 in the morning, so I'll go get it. But if I sound tired, it's because I am. We started today, or I started today at 4 a.m. and it's currently 10:30. So it's a little late, but come back with our cleaner there, and this is all the nastiness out of that throttle body. That's rough, I will say. But we got this thing cleaned up pretty well. Other than, that's on the outside. But as far as the inside goes, we got it cleaned out pretty well. And funny enough, it actually moves, which is interesting. Opens all the way up, closes just as it should, and I think we're good. So we're gonna let this dry. Like I said, I can't put it on tonight anyway, because that waiting on that O-ring. So I guess I will catch y'all in the morning, and we'll throw this throttle body back on and see what she does. Because what we were gonna do, let me kind of explain here. When we pulled the intake elbow off to check the mass airflow sensor, the mass airflow sensor was clean, and we noticed the throttle body goes kind of like this, and we noticed there was a ton of carbon around, around the throttle body itself and whatnot. So we went ahead and what we was trying to do was turn the key on in the car, smash the throttle pedal down, which should have opened this up, and then we could look in there. And it would only open to about there. So it would just barely, it wouldn't open that far. I mean, it was less than that. So that's obviously a problem, nonetheless. So we pulled the thing off, and we noticed there was carbon on the whatever this thing is, the actuator, I guess. There was carbon on the bottom of that actuator, and how bad the throttle blade was. And then you could see where there is like blow through from the O-ring. So that causes a major vacuum leak for this car. And well, there's way more air than there is fuel. So that should explain why it's cutting out at a certain RPM. That should also explain why it doesn't necessarily want to start. So anyway, like I said, I will catch y'all in the morning. We'll run down there. We'll grab that new O-ring and come back and see what we got. All right, guys. So it is the next day, and well, let me cover up my phone number here. But we got our new seal, or O-ring, whatever you want to call it. So last night I showed y'all I got the throttle body cleaned up. Still opens just as it should. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean this intake up, stick our new O-ring in, and go ahead and start slapping on that throttle body and getting this thing all back together. Alrighty, guys, so I got her all back together. Got everything plugged in. I did turn the key on a second ago, and I can hear this, actuating and whatnot. So I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna leave the engine cover off for right now, and then if we're good to go, I'll throw it back on. But I'm gonna get in here, start this thing up, and well, if there's any codes, I'll go ahead and clear them. But I think I'm gonna take this thing for a drive while everything's locked in there good. So let's well, I'm gonna open this door and let's see what she does. And this is what I'm talking about. When you turn the key on, you can hear the throttle body, and you couldn't do that before. Hear it? Okay, so I figure it might take a couple tries, but I'm gonna hook the scanner up to it and make sure we don't have any codes, but we should be good. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try this and see what she does. Okay, so I just checked up there, make sure everything sounded good, but I reset those codes. That's why I didn't restart it on camera. That's a key on, engine off deal. But as you can see, no check engine codes. So I will show y'all. Cut this air off. I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna show y'all. It starts so much better. Fires right up. Runs good. So I'm gonna drive it, see what it does, see if it still cuts out or anything, and well, I guess I will catch y'all when we get back. I'm gonna leave this hooked up, that way if we get anything, well, speaking of, there's one there, it's pending, but I'm gonna take this thing for a drive, and like I said, we're gonna see what it does. Okay, So we just got back with the car, and it's the same thing, maybe even a little worse. So we have an idea of maybe it might be an exhaust issue. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to wait a while, because took the temp gun there. It only goes up to 1,000 degrees, and from what it looks like the exhaust is about 16 or 1700 degrees, and I only drove the car maybe a half a mile. So I almost wonder if these cats are stopping up, and that might be our issue. I don't know. But what we were thinking about doing was taking and getting under the car here in a minute, take that temp gun and see if we can start the car and get a reading before the cats and after the cats, and maybe go from there. So like I said, we got these fans going. We're gonna try to cool it off under the car, and then again we'll take this temp gun under there and shoot it before the cat and after the cat, and see if there's a big temperature spike. You know, because if it's reading 1500 degrees before the cat and it's like 100 or 200 degrees after the cat, then there's a problem there, obviously. So anyway, we're gonna let this thing cool down, and we're gonna try that. But guys, I think that is going to be a wrap for this video, and if we can't figure out nothing there, we're probably gonna just take it to the guy that did the computer program on the red truck. So we'll probably just take it to him, say, here you go, diagnose it, let me know what it is, and go from there, because he has nice scanners and stuff like that. That thing we have from Harbor Freight, you can only see so much. But anyway guys, like I said, we're gonna let this thing cool down and try that. But that is going to be a wrap for this video. So if y'all enjoyed today's video, maybe found it helpful, or if you have any ideas, drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.